Good evening and welcome to our post-game women's volleyball press conference. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Tyler Hildebrand. We'll open it up to questions for coach, as well as players Zaina Meyer, Natalie Glenn, and Abby Carrick. Go ahead, coach.
Thanks, Lindy. What we talked about in our press conference at the beginning of the week, Lindy, you asked us what we learned in our preseason, and I said that we talked a lot all summer and in the preseason about, we're gonna want to get stressed, want to get challenged, and we've set up a tough schedule so that we can do that and learn from wins and losses. And what you said we learned, or what you asked me that we learned, I said that we learned that we can do what we say, which is we're going to stay steady and we're going to stay together, whether we win points, lose points, win sets, lose sets, matches, whatever. And so I think us knowing that and us doing that, was a big factor tonight. Cal Poly is a great team. There's a reason they finished in the top 3 the last 5 years, and we know this is a tough match, and we got a tough match tomorrow. But being down 6-1 in the fifth, we coach because we want them to feel what it's like to stay together and be a part of a team and carry girls that are maybe not playing their best and other girls step up and put it together to just compete enough to win, because it's a life lesson. And so, yeah, for us as a staff, that's what we're proud of tonight, that they showed that they're going to do that again. And so we're going to keep trying to stack the ability to do that. We had a great offensive night. We hit 271. And Natalie had a career high tonight. She had 21 kills. She had her best serving night. She made one of the biggest plays of the match where she dove or dug a ball, and then Zaina set her, and then she got up and killed a D. And all 3 of these girls had a great night. Abby started out and she was working hard, but she wasn't getting kills. And I don't know what she hit in the last couple sets, but she ended up hitting 300 on the match. And so that's about the 3rd time Abby's been able to be a real outside hitter and get through it. And yeah, I said it before, but Zaina's as good as any setter in the country, and she showed it again tonight.
Coach, I know you talked about it for your team, but how about for you yourself and maybe the coaching staff as well? This was a stressful night for you guys as well, in terms of just seemed animated, arguing some calls, but also just being able to encourage your team. What was the night like for you?
Well, I think it's the way I talk to referees. People think I'm yelling at them. I don't yell at them for a second. Then we have real conversations. KK is one of the best refs in the business, and her and I have a good relationship. I really think she's one of the best. And so she's a great ref because she'll listen to you and she'll handle it. So I really respect her and the up ref, the R1. So yeah, part of arguing calls is to try to make sure that we're all in this together, and referees aren't like distant, and it's like, hey, we have opinions, but we respect theirs. And I still want to get a couple more challenges from KK, but she's doing her job. So I apologize to the team. I threw my clipboard today. It's the first time all season. I wasn't mad at them. I just was. Me and Zaina have a lot of talks. I coach a little differently than I played, but every once in a while the player in me comes out, and I was pretty animated when I was a player. So it came out at one point, and but for me, sometimes that's an ability that helps me reset and get right back with them. So I did that, and they forgave me. So I think.
So you guys have now won 5 of your last 6 games. You're playing some good ball. What's the biggest thing you guys have, or what's the biggest thing you've seen click in the last few weeks? I know you got some practices in this week. What kind of helped you guys?
It was nice to train this week, and so that was good for us. But I'll let you guys answer that.
I can answer that. I think that this week we were really able to get after it and really able to, we break up the week kind of like Monday and Tuesday we're working on things, and then when we get to the second half of the week, Wednesday and Thursday, we are competing, we're finding court, we're finding kills, and we're preparing for the weekend or our matches later in the week. And I think that we took full advantage of being able to have that whole week, I think that we grew a lot just in 2 days. Like, we learned something new every time we step in the gym. And we were able to apply it at the end of our practice week and then able to apply it in our matches. So I think it was definitely beneficial, and we definitely needed it.
Also, I think it was so amazing how we like stacked our preseason with such difficult teams, because we have learned so much every single game, win or lose. So I think that's just like showing right now the growth that we've had throughout that preseason.
On what was it, Wednesday, it's one of our like compete days or heavier jump day, and the A side, we were having kind of like a lull day, kind of going up and down, and Tyler was talking about how sometimes you just have to fight through it and try to find your way, and that's what the best teams in the country do.
Boom.
Boom.
Natalie, for you, career night again, actually, 21 tonight, but forget the kills, the 4 blocks as well. It just seemed like you were more animated when you were able to get a block than when you were able to get one of your 21 kills. How much more have you been thinking about just getting physical at the net, being able to get blocks and blocks again against some good attackers today?
Yeah. Blocking has always been kind of, I don't know, something that's always been in the back of my head when it comes to volleyball. But recently I have seen how important it is, so I've been trying to work on it and be more intentional with blocking and really trying to focus on just getting a block instead of like a tool or a touch.
And Zaina, there was one, I like to call it half rotation, when Natalie's in the back row when she's serving, and you're able to find her one time, and it was a very clutch time in the match. What are you thinking throughout those times when you're saying, hey, I actually do have an extra attacker here?
Yeah, I think I was just feeling Natalie because, I mean, she was flowing throughout the match, and I knew that I could trust her in that moment, even though we hadn't run a D-ball in a match, like, almost at all yet. So I just, like, felt her, and especially being pushed to that side, and her audibling really helped me there. But I just knew I could trust her on that play.
How rewarding is it for you guys to come home after a long road trip and you guys played really well, and to see such a large crowd, and kind of how did that help you guys during that huge third set when you went on a 9-0 run, and then even the fifth set when you're down 6-1 coming back through that?
I can answer that. I feel like I can speak for a lot of my teammates on this. It's personal. Like, it's very personal. Like, we work so hard, and we were tested, and things didn't always go our way in preseason. We were on the road a lot. We're in like a 8-hour bus ride to Arizona. Like, we've been tested in so many ways, and sometimes we failed. So I think when we get an opportunity, we don't crash in those moments. We're not like, oh, we're down 6-1, 5-1. It's fine. Like, let's just go home. Like, we work for it. And I think that we stay together, probably the best of any team. We never turn on each other. We always stay together. We hold our huddles. We come back. We communicate. And every single point feels like a team point. It's not like one person getting kills. And I think our ability to do that, and our ability to stick together and play with like emotion in a positive way, is what helps us be clutch in those moments.
For all 4 of you, tonight we recognize the 1972 and 1973 teams that kind of set the precedence for this volleyball program that you're all representing now by winning those 2 back-to-back national titles. How exciting is that for you guys to have them back in the gym and have a chance to be able to, look to them and, thank them for everything that they've done, but at the same time, honor them?
I think, I don't know, it's pretty special that our program has so much history, and it's always something that we talk about, and just knowing that there's so much behind what we're doing, and it's just like been such a long journey for this program, and we're trying to rebuild it back to what it was. I think it's just so special for us to see those people and just recognize what they've done for our program.
Want me to go next? Yeah, Robbie Stewart has been a big help in that. She's given up her time, and she's such a sweet lady, and she really cares. She shared a lot of the history with me that I was mildly aware of before I got here, but over the last year and a half, she shared it. And I say this all the time, but when you're part of a historic program, or really any program, you have to honor the people that came before you. That could be football, basketball, the big men's sports. But in women's volleyball, with Title IX and what they had to go through before it was an NCAA sport, I mean, the amount of things, like what they get versus what they had to deal with, we have to honor the fact that they paved the way for us, and so it really means a lot. And we're going to honor a lot of the teams this year, or a few other teams this year that we are really proud to represent and walk in their shoes. And so it was a great night tonight for that. It was also a great night for our faculty. We got to have a faculty member with everyone. They're student athletes, not just athletes. We had our trainer, our AD, our travel coordinator, our weight coach, a lot of others I'm forgetting, but that's a big deal. We had the president of the university down there with us today, Jane. So it's a big deal they showed up, and that matters to us. And we also honored our beach volleyball team that won Big West last year. They're friends with them. I'm really good friends with Mike. And so, we're all a big family here. So it was a really cool night for all those things. And the last thing do you guys have any more questions? Okay, I just want to wrap it up with this is, you spoke, they said all the right things, and I think they really mean them about how we don't turn on each other, we stay together, and we talk about playing with joy, and it's not always joyful when you're losing or struggling or practice is hard, but that's when the joy matters because you fight through those to find the joy. But all three of these girls came here to us. They weren't here, they didn't commit here, they came here to us, and all three of them, part of why they came here is they wanted to play that way and they wanted to be a part of a team. So I think it's really special that they're able to believe in that and say that. And so we believe that's something that's going to help us get through tough times and help us be a tighter team over and over and over again, even when it's not perfect. So I'm really glad that they're able to feel that way.
Thank you all.